Congratulations. How does it feel to be an official UFC fighter?
Man, it feels great. You know, this is my dream. Uh, been dreaming about this for the past 4 years since 2020 when we started this dream. So to be able to make it become a reality, it means a lot.
Did the moment live up to what you'd thought about since then?
Man, it's been a wild ride. The 2.5 week notice against a tough guy. Definitely, he came in a lot. We knew he was going to be tough, but he was definitely a lot tougher than what I thought. But we went out there, put on a beautiful performance, a wild performance, impressed Dana, and not just impressed Dana, but I impressed myself. You know, to know that I can go to war and create a fan favorite fight. You know that to me is what we do. You know, we're entertainers, so I feel like I went out there and was able to do that.
I know everybody obviously wants a flashy knockout or a nice submission, but like you said, it proves a little bit more that you can go through a fight like that. Did you anticipate it having to be that difficult and that fiery?
No, I was really anticipating, like I was envisioning a first round knockout for real, like just from the way how he holds his hands in previous fights. But he actually had his guard up. He switched up his stance, was a little bit more disciplined than I've seen in his past fights from when I was watching him. So kudos to him. But yeah, I definitely thought we was gonna get him out in the first round, possibly submission. Definitely hoping for a knockout, but hey, you know what? It is what it is. We prepare for the worst and hope for the best.
There was a lot of talk about his tattoo and how scary it was, and did that affect you at all? Seeing that across the
Nah. My girlfriend, she's Samoan, so I mean, I understand that that's their culture. Doesn't really phase me. At the end of the day, you know, we're all human, so anybody has a puncher's chance. So that I don't think there's anything in this world that could really rattle me.
Looking forward, what do you have in mind for your UFC debut? Do you have a date you'd like to fight or a location or anything?
I'm not gonna lie, I'm kind of beat up right now, but shoot, I always envisioned myself fighting in Madison Square Garden. That's always been the dream. Um, I mean, if the UFC calls, I'll talk with my pops and talk with my team and see what makes sense and go from there.
Did you always know you were going to be a fighter?
Nah, if you would have asked me this back in 2019, this wouldn't have even been a thought. But yeah, like you guys have all heard in everything in the previous interviews that I said, 2020 COVID year. That's really what got this dream started, and since then we haven't looked back.
Was it just because you were bored during COVID, or why then?
Yeah, I was really, yeah, really bored. I mean, I needed to do something to stay active. I thought I was still gonna go play football, so I didn't want to just hang around the house and just chill out while I felt like everybody else was getting better. Um, and yeah, me and my pops were just in the gym and training, boxing, kickboxing, wrestling, and I just tossed out an idea like, hey, what if I took a fight? And he didn't believe me. He didn't at first. He didn't believe me. He thought I was just messing around. But he finally took me serious, and we went out there, took my first amateur fight, and the rest is history.
Thank you.
Just a quick one right here. We see a lot of these second generation athletes in the NBA and the NFL, and when they make it to the pro, I think the thing that kind of sets them apart is like they grew up in that environment, so they know not just how to act, but like what it takes to get there. They know like the grind of the road and the grind of having to wake up every day. Do you feel like that kind of sets you apart from the rest of these guys that are winning at the Contender Series?
Oh yeah, I mean definitely. But I always felt like I always knew I was something special. So the grind was always installed into me since I was a little kid. I mean, of course, my pops, he installed it into me, and yeah, I mean, I just truly believed I was something special, and in order to be something special, you really have to work your hardest to get to that point.
And Amy kind of touched upon it, but like when you see these guys with these unbelievable knockouts and they keep racking up these performances, the question's always like, well, what if they get into a firefight? What if they have to push through in the third round? You did that to win a contract. So I think, are you expecting kind of not special treatment, but like maybe a high, like not a ranked guy, but like a higher skilled guy for your first fight because you showed a lot in 15 minutes that not everyone does at the Contenders.
Yeah, I would say you give me a good. You give me a full fight camp. I feel like I'll my performance with a full fight camp will look even better than this. But this right here, I think it's a little bit better than just going out there and getting a knockout, because now you have a bigger sample size of what type of fighter you're gonna get.
And last one for me, you glad you didn't have to go through the tough house like your dad?
Oh yeah. No, thank you, Dana White, for creating a Contender series, because I don't know if I could. I don't know if I could do the tough house. I don't know if I could do the Ultimate Fighter. No, that's a different level of pressure cooker. Yeah, twice at that.
It was easy to see the pride on your father's face when he was standing next to you while you're getting the post-fight interview. How happy are you, and how proud of your own achievement to be able to share this moment with him?
Yeah, I'm super happy and super grateful, because I know how hard he worked to get this vision started and going. And like I said, my dad he made his own gym back in 2009, Victory MMA, and to be his first fighter into the UFC, I mean, that I know I made him proud tonight. I know that.
How did he rate your first post-fight interview?
Man.
Did you feedback it already? It was funny watching his emotion. It was funny watching his face as you were talking. I didn't know if he gave you any feedback on that.
Man, nah, he hasn't given me any feedback on it. But I mean, you got to have some type of character. So I mean, I just whatever came into my head just came into my head. I mean, I've been having these feelings and these thoughts for the last 2 weeks, 2.5 weeks or so. So to finally just to get it off my shoulders, I just had to get it off my shoulders.
And I could be wrong, but I think this is the second time we've only had the father-son that have both been in the UFC. So
who's the first?
The Coutures,
Randy and Ryan.
Oh, dang.
So I mean, but
Yeah,
that's
wow.
kind of set you guys up to create something unique and different that nobody else has done before. Does that kind of excite you, the potential possibility?
Yeah, no, it doesn't even start. It doesn't stop here. I understand that the road, it only gets tougher, but we only get better from here. So to be the second, like you said, I mean, wow, what a journey it's been these last 4.5 years. It's been such a crazy, wild ride. Like, I couldn't even imagine something like this, like I said, back in 2019. But we're here. I'm 22 years old, just turned 22 back on the 5th. So this was a late birthday gift to myself.
When you were younger, say you're going through school, high school, and things like that sort, what did you envision that you would be doing at this point?
Man, I thought I was going to be a football player. I thought I was going to get drafted to the NFL. I fight out 135 pounds, yeah. So I guess that career definitely changed. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it makes the most sense. I'm not having to go against others 6'6", 300 and some pound guys trying to tackle me and all that stuff. So I'm able to compete against my own weight class as people somewhat similar to my size, and see who's the better man. So I think it was a good deal.
And what's neat for us, seeing fighters like yourself at the beginning of their career, is to see where they're from. Is your community, have they been watching your journey as well? And did they realize that you were coming here tonight, and were they at home watching you on this?
Man, I feel like I had the whole city behind me. Like they've seen my journey from when I made my amateur debut, and they've been with me all by my side. And yeah, it was really dope to see them. See the watch party, and everybody's going crazy. I mean, like, my phone is blowing up right now. I want to answer to everybody, but unfortunately I won't be able to get to everybody. But I want them to know that I really do appreciate the love and support, and I want to keep giving back to the community and being an inspiration to my community and to all my friends and family and training partners. Like, guys, you can make anything happen if you just put your mind and your heart into it.
And that's it. I feel like we're seeing you at the very beginning of your career, but like you said, you are going to be a role model for that community. So any young kids that maybe watched you tonight, what would you say to young kids in your hometown?
I would say, stay disciplined. Stay disciplined. Enjoy your craft. Really make it, something that you want to, be successful in. I mean, me and also Raquel Pennington, we're both from Colorado Springs, so it's really dope to put Colorado Springs on the map. She went to Harrison. I went to Sierra. So, I mean, it shows. Like if you just keep working, keep grinding, no matter how hard it gets. There's gonna be some days that you don't want to go into the gym, you don't want to train. I have those days. Every athlete has those days, but it's just something in your mind that has to tell you like, hey, you got to get up, you got to go. You know, you got to put in the work in. It might suck now, but it's gonna pay off later.
That's awesome. I got to ask, what position did you play in football?
Oh man, yeah, I damn near I played coach, cheerleader, referee. Man, I was all over the place. But for real, I played like I was running back, slot, wide receiver, kick return, you know, everywhere. I felt like I was all over the field.
Congratulations. Welcome to the UFC.
Thank you.
What's your team?
Sierra Stallions. Oh, my football team. My bad. Woo! That was my high school team. That was my
I was
high school
gonna say,
team.
like, I have no idea who that is.
So what is that? Nah, my team, 49ers, baby. Bang, bang, Niner gang.
Sorry about last season.
Come on, you don't have to bring that up.
Just a quick one for me. You mentioned the UFC's perspective on having a battle-tested guy and contender, but from your perspective, you mentioned you wanted a knockout, but do you think this dog-type fight will benefit you more in the long term given the takeaways you got from this fight?
I think this just shows that I do have that dog in me. But again, I don't want to keep going out there and having these, you know, banging fights. You know, I want to go out there and I want to finish these guys. I'm a finisher at heart. You know, I want to get these UFC bonuses. I don't want to get fight of the night bonus. I don't want that. I want knockout of the night bonuses. That's what's gonna get us paid. That's what's gonna get butts and seats. And yeah, we're gonna keep working towards that. Keep getting better. And yeah.
In your post-fight interview was brought up. You also said there that you dealt with messages, trolls.
Yeah.
How was that dealing? How was dealing like that for a contender fight?
Man, I would just hold it. Man, I had guys hitting me up like, "Oh, he's gonna kill you. You know, he's gonna knock you out. This and that. You know, you might as well. You know, just crazy stuff." And they'll DM me, and I just hold on to that. I'm gonna hold on to that because I'm gonna keep it. I'm gonna keep them receipts. And once I come out here with this win and get this contract, I'm gonna bring it up, and it just shows like. I think they definitely woke up another dog in me. That was their mistake. They should have kept their comments to themselves, been respectful. I'm always respectful to my opponents, and I hope my friends and family aren't doing the same thing. I don't promote that. But yeah, I mean, I hope that humbled him. I hope that humbled him.
If I'm not mistaken, amongst those messengers was Dan Hooker, I believe you said?
I mean, I don't know if that's true, but I did see in an interview that Dan Hooker said that he likes to send messages from like burner accounts just to mess with the opponents. So if that was him, then I mean, it didn't work. So
We're assuming a couple of them were Dan Hooker then.
yeah, I'm gonna just assume that. Yeah, but I respect those guys at City Kickboxing, Adesanya, Kai Kara France, Dan Hooker. I mean, these guys are elite level fighters, so they deserve their flowers. But like I said, yeah, that messaging stuff, it obviously didn't work.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Just